What's up, Buff Nation? Hopefully your week is off to a pretty good start. We're halfway through it, and spring practice is up and going. We've got a couple of good stories today. Hopefully you enjoy them. We're going to talk about Colorado's offense in a very soon upcoming video. So make sure that you continue to stay locked in with the channel. Appreciate you guys that are riding with us during the off season. It's a little bit different in the off season. I get it. Things are a little bit slower, but more and more news is starting to come out. We're starting to get glimpses of what this team could end up looking like. We're going to talk about that offense very, very soon. But first, I want to talk about the first day of spring ball. And we're going to talk about a couple of things today that you may love, you may not. We're going to talk about a rumor that got shut down. We're going to talk about something else that got shut down that Coach Prime will absolutely not take, not stand for. But first, let's go ahead and just jump into it. Listen, Coach Prime, in one of the most recent well-off media videos, was speaking to the team about what they need to give up to achieve their dreams. And they need to give up this, or they need to give up that. They need to give up partying. They need to give up drinking, smoking, whatever it is, and give football their all, which is a great message. There's a point, and you guys probably know where I'm going with this, but a great message. Sacrifice is a good thing. You may not think so. You may disagree. I don't care. Sacrifice is a good thing. If you want to achieve one thing in life, you oftentimes have to sacrifice something else. Now, is it always good what you're sacrificing? Probably not. For work, if you're sacrificing time with your family, is that necessarily a great thing? Well, if it's short term and it's going to pay off and be better for your family long term, maybe. But we all sacrifice things. And Coach Prime's telling his players, his team, this same thing. He's trying to instill a very vital message to them. These are young, I'm not calling the kids out, but dumb kids, just like we all were young, dumb kids at one point. And they need to be taught life lessons. And I'm so appreciative of well-off media and Colorado football for what they let us see behind the scenes, because I think it's stuff that we can really apply to our own lives. But he's trying to teach them a very valuable lesson of, listen, to get anything great in life, you're going to have to sacrifice. Do you want to win games this year? Stop partying. Do you want to win games this year? Give up the smoking and the drinking and this, that, and the other, the girlfriend stuff, the drama, everything else. And what happens in the middle of that? Well, you guys have watched the video, I'm sure. You guys know a phone goes off. One of the players' phones starts ringing in the meeting. I understand that I watched the video. I understand that I got to see this play out from an edited perspective. I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall to really not only see, but feel the darts coming out of Coach Prime's eyes. I felt so bad when this went off because I knew it was about to happen. But it happened at a good time, and we're going to talk about it. But Coach Prime kicks the player out, tells him he doesn't want to see him until Wednesday, and the kid has to leave. Now, Coach Prime's not going to put up with that. You're in a meeting. You guys know this. You're in a business meeting. You're in a work meeting. You're in a school meeting. You go to church, whatever. You understand that you put your phone on vibrate. I live with my phone on vibrate. The ringing annoys me. But Coach Prime made an example. But in his example, in his frustration, in him kicking a player out, he still had one thing. And it's something he preaches. It's something he lives by. It's something he's talked about within his faith. And it's what most people missed about the story. It's what most people glossed right over with the story. The focus was on him getting kicked out. The focus was on the player getting dismissed for a day or so. But the focus should have been on what came after that. The focus should have been on the way that Coach Prime ended it. Because he didn't just kick the player out and say, get out of here, I don't want to see you. Get out of here, you're gone. Get out of here, blah, blah, blah. Get out of here, you blankety blank. Not that Coach Prime would cuss. But what Coach Prime lives by and what he practices what he preaches, is grace. Oh, where did he practice grace? What does that have anything to do with it? What did he tell him? I don't want to see you until Wednesday. So what happened? The kid got kicked out. The kid got booted. The kid got, you're not allowed to be around us. You're going to spend some time separated, but there's grace. You're not off the team. We're not done. We're not leaving any questions unanswered. We're not doing any of that. I'll see you on Wednesday. Take some time. Think about what happened. There's probably going to be some punishment when you get back on Wednesday, but you're coming back to us on Wednesday. We're not running one of those things. We're not doing something here for clicks or views or this, that, and the other. There's grace. You made a mistake. You screwed up. You interrupted our meeting. You're out for a short time, but you're coming back. There's love. There's grace. There's redemption. You guys know all of the stories that I could relate to that. Coach Prime's talked about several of them. Coach Prime lives by several of them. Coach Prime's faith is very important to him. My faith is very important to me. I believe a lot of the same things Coach Prime does. You may too. But not only was there a big-time punishment, a big-time consequence, there's also big-time love and big-time grace. What's the big takeaway for the kids, the team, Coach Prime? Well, first of all, that there is forgiveness. Second of all, what Coach Prime was talking about mattered. What Coach Prime was speaking about mattered. And you're going to have to give some things up. And listen, you can call it a brain fog. You can call it being tired. You can call it just forgetting, whatever. Sacrificing and pushing through some of that stuff goes exactly into what Coach Prime was talking about. It goes exactly into what Coach Prime was talking about. Giving up some other things. You don't necessarily need your cell phone. I know that we're all attached to them. 7,000 hours of the day, we got to have these things on us. I get it. But Coach Prime was telling him, hey, you don't necessarily need that every single hour of every single day. Now, the team themselves in the videos look like they're getting after it. They look like they're really into things. I know that was one negative aspect. I wanted to bring out the positive in it because I do truly believe in that. But I do think that the team looked like they were absolutely into it. I'm not going to make big-time generalizations. I'm not going to make big-time predictions. I'm not going to make big-time, this is the new I'm not going to do any of that based on a practice video, based on spring camp, based on day one of this all getting going. But I tell you, they look a little bit different this year. If you don't think so, that's fine. We don't have to argue about it. We don't have to call each other names. We don't have to fight about it. But they look, go back last year. Well Off keeps all their stuff up. Go back last year and watch day one of spring last year. Go do that for me. Go watch day one of spring last year. And then go rewatch the video from yesterday. Tell me that they don't look different. Tell me that things don't look different. Now, I'm not saying that means they're going 16-0 and they're winning the national championship. That I get accused of being a homer. I am a homer. That's fine. I don't care. But tell me things don't look different a year later. We were with you a year ago. We actually just hit our 1-year anniversary. Our 1-year birthday, I guess, is about happy birthday to us at the prime time for college football. If you want to wish us a happy birthday, hit the subscribe button. But we were with you a year ago, and it didn't look like that. All I'm saying. Cormani set the record straight in the video. Cormani says, I am not transferring. Brian Howell from Buff Stampede said he had a chance to chat with Cormani at Pro Day. So they weren't allowed to interview players, but he did chat with him for a couple of minutes. He said he only had met him once before, so he introduced himself and said he kind of laughed at all the speculation about him. And sounds like he's certainly all in a really good space mentally. Been dealing with a little bit of a minor injury, but he thinks he'll be back pretty quickly on the practice field this week. Also talked briefly about last season. He's eager to have a full offseason and thinks that coming in so late last year did impact his season. But he said he thinks there will be bumps along the way, but Coach Prime is pushing him to be great. Sounds like a really nice and personable young man. Brian says he's looking forward to the next step in his development. There were so many rumors and so many people trying to jump on this young man's back and bring him down with negativity and rumors. And this way, we never. I don't have a problem with anybody that did a video on this, but you can tell the people who did a video on this, who did content around this. There were Miami people who are still bitter about the way that things went down. There were Miami people doing videos on this. I'm not saying it's wrong to do content around possible rumors, possible news. But when it comes at the expense of a young man and it comes at the expense of trying to get clicks off of, is he transferring this rumor, that rumor, and the whole time he's there under Coach Prime's leadership. And just because you didn't see him in a video or this happened or that happened, you saw a rumor on a Canes message board, he was in campus in Tallahassee, different things like that, it wasn't worth it to me. I'm glad that Cormani set the record straight. I'm glad that he laughed at the people that were speculating that something may have been wrong. And I'm glad that he's going to be back. I think he's going to be a very good player. Canes fans on their message boards calling him a head case, calling him all kind of names, calling him everything you can imagine. Good. We certainly dodged a bullet there, just based on some rumors. Absolutely disgusting what happens at times, the way that these kids get vilified for being kids, 17, 18, 19, 20-year-olds. Do you remember yourself at that age? Because I was an idiot then. I was a complete idiot. I'm lucky to be in the situation I'm in now with how much of an idiot I was back then. I think we could probably all attest to that to some degree. But man, the way that these kids, their lives are under an absolute microscope and rumors get started about them, that's why we didn't talk about it. Until we knew the facts, that's why we didn't talk about it. We didn't talk about the Bishop Thomas stuff until it was fact. We try not to dive into the rumors that can impact these kids' lives. Listen, a little bit of a soapbox there at the end, but I appreciate you guys. Things get going. We'll probably talk about the offense tomorrow. So again, make sure you're locked in with the channel. Make sure that you let us know in the comments your thoughts. I appreciate each and every one of you for watching and tuning in to the